The government is taking the entitlements away. It's driving me my sugar.
How you doing, Pop?
What are you doing with that machine still?
It's not a machine. It's my staple gun.
I'm telling you, you're gonna be a schlep all your life if you keep using that.
But I can work faster with this.
I'm telling you, Dad is gonna land you right in the outhouse. You gotta use a tack hammer.
I'm not good with the old methods. I'm just a young man with a staple gun.
You wanna listen to Pop? Take this tack hammer and you'll be a star. Take it. Take it.
It doesn't even feel comfortable, Pop. I can't use this.
You're not right. You're not gonna be a star. You need a quality. You need a je ne sais quoi. Look, put the tags in your mouth. Look, I'm telling you, you're gonna be a star if you do what Pop says.
How am I supposed to work?
If you do what Pop says, you're gonna be a star. Now, how do you feel?
I think I can do it. I think I can do it. I feel like a star.
Look, I'm the Hageman String Band.
Look, the Aurora Frankenstein model.
Hey, what is it? It's Furniture to Go.
The mummy, the creature. Hi, I'm Joe Lorario. Welcome to Furniture to Go.
And I'm Ed Feldman. Today we are going to finish up with our Gilbert Rohde table.
You remember Gilbert Rohde? He's still dead.
And the table is still undone. We've got about 6 pieces of table here.
That's a couple pieces above 8.
Or 6 degrees of separation. This here, Stockard Channing.
And the table, dead ringer for Donald Sutherland.
Over there, Will Smith. He's on the bottom.
So we'll wrap that in leather.
Remember last time, what did we do?
Well, we took off the old veneer off the corners, remember? We took that veneer off real nice, cleaned the undersurface, put the contact cement on, put the new veneer on.
And then we stained.
We stained.
And toned.
We atoned.
And we put in some nice stripes so it would look nice.
A little bit of modeling. We did some modeling.
We lacquered.
And now today, what we're going to do is take off the leather off the base,
and
put new leather.
We're going to finish up with the top of the table and all these legs.
Yeah.
Somebody started their initials.
Horrible. Probably got scratched in transport.
Well, no, I killed them before they finished their initials, before it got the chewy.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Look, here's the table and the veneer is done. What's next?
Well, we're going to utilize the original finish because we can do that. It's in pretty good condition except for some scratches, but they're surface scratches. We did some naphtha. We're going to pour some naphtha on the table and rub it all around here like this here.
Don't forget to not ever wear gloves.
Move your pants.
Nice shirt, by the way, in case you want to refinish hiding in a forest.
Now we're going to take the 320 sandpaper. I do a lot of finishing in the forest, and
Welcome to the 82nd Airborne Refinishing School. Death from above.
You know, I think they should start wearing vests like that, too.
Well, it gives them a nattier, hi, ready to die?
The Marines wouldn't be so deadly with a vest like that. They would just die laughing.
Look, punji sticks in my pocket.
Now, you go around in circles, and what you're doing is you're leveling the old finish.
Watch Fob and a hand grenade. It's like a white sport coat and a pink carnation.
Look, see that blushing over there? Look.
Well, you embarrassed it. You made it all wet.
Now you keep rubbing in circles.
What kind of sandpaper is this?
Well, I tried to tell them, but you kept talking about the Marines. It's 320 grit. Finishing paper. This is wet and dry paper, which means you can use it wet or you can use it dry. How amazing.
Like we tell, we need a lot of protection. I have a machine gun nest out in front of my house. And speaking of houses and nests,
now we're going to keep rubbing in circles.
No kind of segue at all. I'm going to step over here and begin to remove.
Now, while he does that, I'm going to go bug him and not shut up.
My leather. Here's the base. It goes on the floor. It's got something on top of it. May have once been leather.
Wow, is that leather?
No, I don't know.
Or is that naugahyde or something?
Well, I don't think they had invented naugas at this point. Wait a minute. There, I'm going over there.
What's the underneath? What's the underneath there?
We're not to that part. Like Steve Thomas told us, Russ Morash.
We're telling a story.
We're telling a story. Russ Morash, he tells a story. And I turned to him and said, Steve, it's a boring story.
Here we go.
Anyway, will you wait till I do my part of the story? Look, I'm knocking off these things.
They come off nice. You're knocking the heads off, or?
Let's not talk dirty. And we peel this back, And this is
Wait a minute,
old leather.
it's all
Look at
splits
that.
there.
Oh, my goodness.
Look
Well,
at
we'll
that.
not fix that. We're just going to put new leather on it.
Let's take a look underneath here.
Sure. Hey, look at that. Get a close-up of that. Oh, as with every single furniture project I've ever attempted, once you get stuff off, you find out you have other problems. Looky there. You got a big gap here. And not only was it a gap, but it was an uneven gap, so I had to belt sand it to make it at least level one panel with the other. That's what a good idea to cover this with leather anyway. Guess what else happened? When I took it off, it smelled like, how shall we put it, that the pussycat did certain things upon this that pussycat shouldn't be allowed to do on any piece of furniture. So I put some of this sterilization spray, which says, surfaces and objects must be cleaned of gross filth before treatment. One of my favorites.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. Now it smells like a hospital. Oh, but you're going to spray lacquer in a minute. So I wipe that down, and the next thing I do is I lay my leather out. We bought some nice leather here that's going to conform to the shape of the base and also match the stain on the top. It's a lovely dark.
I like it just like
A
that.
dark wine thing. Look, this is where the cow had a zit.
parasite.
He had a zit right over there.
As a parasite.
Had a weeping zit. So I'll stretch this out. And of course, this is going to be stretched all the way underneath. So I'll just generally cut it out about 3 inches too large, so it'll lap underneath, conforming to the general shape of the amorphic base, which conforms to the amorphic top. Remember, soft curves. Just going to trace this around, because we're going to pull it tight and staple underneath. Hey, Joe, while I'm doing this, what are you going to do?
I got to spray this table. That's why I got a mask on. Spraying the table. I used a tack rag. I got all the dust off after I washed it with the naphtha and sanded. And now I'm going to do the side. And then I'm going to move around this way here because I got to go with full strokes. And you'll see. Now that's pretty. That's really pretty. Look at that. I'm going to continue spraying. We'll sand it down, put on another coat. And then we'll do some touch-ups too.
You know what's interesting?
Right.
Your lacquer is meeting my pussycat wee-wee smell, and it's creating some kind of a front here.
It's weeping.
It's a new kind of weather system. Pussycat wee-wee and lacquer.
The first coat of lacquer's dried. Now we got to do some touch-up. As usually happens, I sanded through the stain here on this little edge, and I'm going to mix. I have a little bit of lacquer in this can top and some dry pigments. I mix some dark brown, some sienna, some ochre, and some black to get a dark color, and I can go over that with this fine brush and just cover that up just like so. Just like putting on mascara for you ladies out there. See that? Now, the other problem with the table is that it had a big scratch or an abrasion right in here. And you can see some of the lacquer has actually peeled away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean that colored stain off, take some clear lacquer, and just drip it right into those holes. See that? Just like that. Now this will settle and shrink, and then you can level it down with some sandpaper, and it should bring it up to surface. Speaking of surfaces, I'm going to put this mask on, because I got a spray over here. This side's already sanded. We hook in the spray gun, got gloss lacquer in here, and we spray. I'm going to walk around this end here. Let's move this over here. And then we start.
Yes, it was all sanded and tack ragged. I'm not spraying onto dust.
Hey, I cut it generous, and now I'm going to flip it over and begin to staple, of course. Ow. Oy. Always begin your upholstery projects the same way.
All right, I'm done spraying.
Hold on, I got to measure, make sure it all laps over. Oh, it's going to be a good one.
Huh? What?
What?
Huh?
Uncle George!
Hello. I
There
thought
you
I'd
go.
do this scene with a mustache, too.
Pull this tight
Pull it tight, staple underneath.
and pull the corners. Just like an outside something or other.
Maybe at the end of the segment, I could do my Steve Thomas impersonation. You have to lend me your glasses, though.
Pull it up, check it.
Hey,
It's
it looks nice.
Starting to look tight. I'll pull this tight and get rid of all wrinkles. And as always, you keep bisecting. Now I'll do this
You
corner.
know, he's pulling tight and he's getting all those wrinkles out. It's the same thing they do to Joan Collins back in here.
Robert Stack.
Well, him, if he moves, the head spins off, goes right through the ceiling.
All the corners, and I'll work around and then fill in. Just like doing a dining room seat, only big and curved. It's
Fabulous.
very strange. Hey, we do know Steve Thomas, don't we?
Yeah,
Here,
look.
do Steve Thomas now. Look at it. You know why he looks like this?
Hey, pants are so tight.
Hey, hold still, you. Oh, now, remember that 10,000 little tacks that looked a lot like this were in the base of this table. And of course, I could bang in each one of them and grow quite old while doing it. Or I could find the old nail holes and even push them in, just like that one. However, lots of the old nail holes still hold the old nails, because when we pulled the old tacks off, we left the old nails. So this is what we're using. Mambo Kings! This is a long line of faux nail heads, and here they are. Every third one has a hole, and I'm drilling a pilot hole, and my drill bit, actually an old brad. And then I take a new brad, and I push that in there, in the pilot hole that I've drilled. I find that, and then I bang that in.
Can you see my deflection? It looks pretty. The lacquer is dried, and that's the second coat we put on, the gloss lacquer. And if you want to rub out, now's the time to do it, because you let it dry a couple days. And you can rub out with some steel wool, some 4-0 steel wool, or you can rub out with some pumice stone, some 4F pumice stone, which means couldn't get into the Army.
Wow!
Or you can go to polishing compounds. This is a polishing compound for the car, and this is a car wax. So the first thing we're going to do is do the polishing compound. Take a little bit of this on a rag. You got to keep banging over there.
Well, I have to do something. I
you
don't
don't.
want to stand there just holding my hammer.
Well, the camera's not on you. Can't you just stand there? Thank you. Now you rub with the polishing compound. See this here? Go around in a circle. That's like your first marriage, right?
I'm not supposed to say anything, weasel boy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, Tubby.
Okay, pumice face.
See, it's just like the classroom here. Now, once you get this all rubbed out like that, you take some paper towels, always pronounce the W, and rub like this here. Now you'll feel you got a nice smooth feeling. And then you over here on the side, see I already applied the wax.
You didn't do it, somebody else
Car
did
wax.
it.
You wet this, put the car wax in, and then when you rub the car wax off,
Looks like an Oldsmobile now.
it's as shiny as a fresh new Oldsmobile. Now you can sit down and have some coleslaw. What are you doing, Ed?
I don't know, but my makeup's so thick I have to take it off with coat cream. Remember, we put in these series guys over here, and I've been banging each one of them in with the tiny little brads. Of course I have. However, oh, look what happens. It happens sometimes. The last one is like the first one. And so we don't want a brad next to a brad, do we?
No.
So look, the thing that we're not using, the individual upholstery nails, that's what I'm going to put right over top where the brad would be. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. And I'm just going to bang that one in to finish things off.
Bang it home there.
Next, it'll be my show because I have a pistol. And the next step, two-part steps, staining and then lacquering.
Well, this is the base of the table, and the base of the table is in pretty good condition, but it's got some worn spots, so we're going to use...
I had a dog name.
I was.
You know, this stuff always... I think I'm coming down with something.
You better have that checked. But this stain will hide all of the spots. See, this piece has already been stained here. If you can bring that brush over here, Ed, and just stain right up. No, put it right there.
Oh, I should put it somewhere.
Put it, yeah, you should put it somewhere, exactly.
Yeah, you should put it somewhere.
Yeah, know where to put it, don't you?
Look, I like a nice waterfall design.
That's good. Now we wipe
and then
this
you
off.
follow up. This really wasn't in my nose, see?
That's just like a little comedic concept there.
Yeah. And now I'll go down these fluted legs.
No, not really. This is something somebody handed me. I'm going to see, because this is wet still, this stain. I got to mask this off because this leg is already stained.
And
I'm
it's dry.
And this table is small enough where you can use a canned lacquer. So we're just going to spray down here. Now, some people may notice a big scratch mark. As we always say, nobody sees that. A lot of people say, you're not wearing your masks and we want you around. Well, we had implants right up the noses, little cartridges.
Well, actually, you should always wear your respirator, but for the amount of spray that we're doing right here, it's really not a big deal.
And if you have a little thing like this for a little mask, it's good for a fan too, see? And you can go around and do the whole table. And this is a semi-gloss, so it'll dry to a nice matte finish, and it'll duplicate kind of what the top looks like, only it won't feel as nice.
Did that lunch do to you what it did to me?
Oh, yeah, you know it.
We did everything on this except the cream polish.
Well, we did another kind of polish. There's all types of polishes, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Let's put this on
Let's
here.
reassemble.
Go ahead. We got the base on, we got the legs on. Okay. Wait a minute, that can't be right.
No, because I still see a thing.
Yeah, let's go this way.
Go this way.
Over here.
Okay.
Wait,
now that's better.
No, see, this is a glass holder.
Oh, gosh, it must be all those fumes.
There it goes.
Finally getting to us. Now it's Picasso. No, wait a minute.
Well, that's good, because if you got an apple there, you can roll it to me. That's perfect.
Hey, that's great. Look at that beautiful base with the recovered leather.
Looks really nice with that wine-colored leather there. The legs we cleaned and we re-lacquered, and then the top we did the veneer work, we re-lacquered it, we rubbed it out, all in a matter of 2 shows.
Ready to do marbles on top. Joe, will you get that done? The show's almost over.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
The table's just not closing right.
All right, look. But here's our beautiful Gilbert Rohde table. Here's the before.
And the after. Rat.
We have to get this back to Michael. Will you hurry up?
Okay, just one more turn.
You want to stop fooling around?
Where are they? They're never on time. I could turn to be an old man in this chair before they get here. Jeez.
Made it, Michael.
Finally.
Here's the base.
Good.
Joe's having a little bit of trouble.
Oh, that's too bad.
With the top.
Yeah.
Now, we know this was a Gilbert Rohde table, and it was designed for?
Herman Miller Company.
Big company.
Yeah, 1940.
But, you know, this was kind of straddling the Deco and the modern period.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It was an amorphic top, but it had the old wood.
Expensive materials like the mahogany veneer on the top and the inlay, the S inlay, the leather base, you know.
Right, and people really couldn't afford that.
No, it was expensive. And then, you know, after the war, Herman Miller made stuff like this daybed. Real simple, plain materials, aluminum legs.
Who designed this?
George Nelson.
Okay.
He took over the job from Gilbert Rohde when he died.
In 44.
44 he died, and then Nelson came along and developed all kinds of stuff for Herman Miller.
And this clock over here, is that
The clock's by Nelson too, same as the Daybed, but different company. It's the sister company. Howard Miller made the clocks. Herman Miller made the furniture.
Howard and Herb.
Howard and Herman.
Here he comes. Come on. Come on.
Yikes.
The term using his head comes to mind, but I won't say it. All right, push it together. There we go.
Ta-da.
Now you got a whole table.
Ah, there we go.
What do you think of
Great.
it, Michael?
Terrific. Look at that shine.
Looks nice, striped mahogany, pretty beautiful. Utilizing the original finish, sanded it down, new coats, 5 or 6 coats of lacquer. There
Just
it is.
beautiful. Just great.
So modern design with old world materials, kind of the hallmark of Gilbert Rohde.
Gilbert Rohde for Herman Miller, luxurious, 30s, great materials. Then we had the 50s things, which were much simpler,
And that
much
was-
more form follows function.
And that you have some Herman Miller design
This
stuff.
chair right over here, Charles Eames, bent plywood.
A classic.
Form followed function there because it actually conforms to the shape of the body.
Absolutely.
And that's ash, correct?
Calico ash, very unusual with the black legs and the combination of the blonde back, spine, and seat.
So the post-war period really broke with the original, the deco materials, and went to the cheaper,
Yes,
yet
they-
more technologically advanced ways of presenting them.
Now, what about
I didn't know you were that smart.
I read a book.
what about this
The
lamp over here?
Yeah, the lamp is by Howard Miller. Now, that's the same as the clock that we looked at earlier.
Right.
Same designer, George Nelson, but for Howard Miller. Howard Miller did the clocks and the lamps, and Herman Miller did the furniture.
So Howard got away with the little things.
Yeah, so to speak.
Small things.
Looks like a big onion. Well, from Mode Moderne here, Michael Gladfelter's store, beautiful stuff. He gives some of the stuff to us. We fix it, we give it back.
And we hope we can do it again
I
sometime.
hope so, too.
Until we meet again, I am Miyoshi Umeki.
And I am Lou Ferrigno.
That's exactly what I've been looking for.
Oh, be nice to your furniture.
Don't burn much oil, mister. It's a straight 8, so it does use gas.
Coming up next, Bob Vila's home again. Join Mr. Fix-It himself for 2 back-to-back shows, adding contemporary convenience to antique homes, maintaining the class and charm. Stay with us here on TLC.